Hi everybody. So it's out with the old and in with the new. So I'm sure, like most people, you're glad to see the back of 2020. However, I honestly believe that despite being such a challenging year, that there is a lot of learning that we can all take out of 2020. And as much as I say to my clients and people I know, a key part of my career navigation cycle process, in fact, step one, is let go and look forward. But I always say, in doing so, take the learning from the past. So what learning can we take from 2020? Well, what I want to focus on here for the purpose of this video is what I call lockdown legacy. And I'm sure you will have your own version of this. But in reflecting on 2020, and reflection is a key part of any change process as we go into a new year, I realised that despite all the major challenges that I've faced, both from a business perspective and a personal perspective, that I've actually achieved a number of key things that I would never have set out to if it weren't for how the year had evolved. So I just want to run through these quickly with you, and I'd like to think it will give many people practical hope about what you might be able to achieve in this coming year, and hopefully a bright new future. So rather strangely, I can't even describe it, on day one of lockdown in March 2020, I woke up with this absolute compulsion. I felt overwhelmed by the need to do something positive in these crazy, challenging times. And little did we know where it was going to lead, because at that time we probably thought we might only have a few weeks of this. So I thought, well, how can I make a positive difference to the lives of others who might be really struggling in these challenging times? And I thought, I need to be able to put out messages, show ways of helping people, and provide, if you like, a beacon of light and positivity. And I thought, well, there must be a vehicle to do this. And I decided to reignite my LinkedIn Winning Through group, which I'd set up a number of years previously, but like most LinkedIn groups, had gone into a bit of decline. But I thought, rather than reinventing the wheel, I've got a vehicle there, and Winning Through, well, what a great title, what a great way to focus on helping people in such challenging times. So from a membership of under 200, I'm delighted that it's doubled to almost 400, even though my target is to get to around 1,000 people, and I'd like to think that can still be achieved in 2021. But more the point is that I consistently shared content, curated content, helped others to do likewise, so that the group was constantly provided with some inspirational and aspirational, arguably, thoughts and videos and all sorts of other things to give people practical hope that they could actually win through in such a challenging year. But above all else, what started out as some short videos of me sharing my thoughts and vision of what might be possible in the year and ways to motivate and encourage people in general, turned out to be much bigger than that, and it evolved into regular, almost bi-weekly interviews with some amazing people, most who were either members of my Winning Through group, or if they weren't, they joined as a result of those interviews. And I wish to say a big heartfelt thank you to the 22 people who I did interview in 2020 who made a massive contribution, not just to the group, because these videos were then shared globally across social media, but some fascinating and inspirational stories, and people sharing all sorts of knowledge and experience across a range of specialist subjects, not least of well-being, which of course is top of the agenda in 2020, redundancy, things like resilience, which again was something that became ever more important during the year, job seeking, and a range of other key topics which many people would be interested in. And again, back to providing practical hope of what might be possible. So as I say, a big thank you to those people, and I've listed you in the comments box below this video. So that was a pivotal thing that I did, and I'm going to continue that into this year. And I thought, well, what else can I do to make a difference? Well, one of my key business goals for 2020 even, was to repurpose my 3 books, my 3 internationally acclaimed books, which you can probably see behind me, Winning Through Redundancy, Portfolio Careers, and Winning Through Career Change, into new online programs. Now, that was a deliberate strategy that I wanted to adopt. And I literally just started the process, and I just got as far as putting up the heading for my Portfolio Careers course on the learning management system, which I'd researched for many weeks and months prior to that, and just found the right platform. And then coronavirus struck, and the COVID crisis, and the world changed as we knew it. So I thought, well, no, Portfolio Careers, that's something for another time. The most instant need, the need right now, is Winning Through Redundancy and 6 steps to navigate your way to a brighter future. So I learned how to create an online program on this learning management system, started from scratch during the March lockdown, and finally finished the course in June of 2020, having road tested it with a number of different people, mixture of clients and people who were really in need of that support, not just in the UK, but also in the US. And the feedback was absolutely brilliant. So it proved to me that I was absolutely doing something that was right for the time and would make a difference to the lives of other people, a positive difference. And the feedback was also great in many other respects. So it gave me ideas of how I could tweak it just to make it even better. But feedback was such that it suggested that the course was not just for private clients that I'd considered initially, but here was a real vehicle, something very different, but something that could be used for employers who are laying off staff with their professional staff who would need to reevaluate their careers and lives and look to do something different as a result of their redundancies. So as a result of that feedback, the course has been replicated, and now there is a identical course, all bar the welcome video, for employers to benefit from this arguably breakthrough and transformational course for their departing employees affected by redundancy. So, win, 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 if you like. And there have been some amazing breakthroughs from people who've been through the course already this year. In fact, one person, even at the halfway stage, who started from such a dark place, a really, really dark place, at the halfway stage, they already had a vision for a business, and they started the process of working on that. And by the end of the course, they'd set it up and were up and running, and it was all happening. Absolutely incredible. And that's over the space of just a few weeks. So it just shows what is possible with the right support mechanisms. And they're not alone. So far, all the people who have been through the program have had breakthroughs in different ways, either in terms of starting a new business, changing career, or a slight pivot into using their knowledge and experience in a different way. So I'm absolutely delighted with that. And in 2021, I will start to develop the other two courses that from my other two books that I was planning to do for this year. So what else? Well, I've had a real fear of running live webinars now for a number of years. And if you see me on this video now, you might think, well, that's really strange. You do all this stuff. Why would you be frightened of running live webinars? Well, don't ask me. I bought some webinar software a number of years ago, and I hadn't touched it at all, and still haven't, in fact, to this day. I think it was the fear of technology and various other things. Well, with the online program, I had to learn so many new technologies I can't begin to tell you. So I thought, well, with the learning management system I've got now, it's got a Zoom integration. I can run live webinars. I've got to try it. And of course, as they say, the rest is history. So 6 webinars later, and being able to provide free webinars to probably a few hundred people now, and give them lots of encouragement, support, motivation, inspiration, and practical hope again to create their own new bright future. So absolutely fantastic. So again, legacy from 2020, learning for me, and sort of stuff I do with my clients over the time, all the time. Don't let your fears hold you back. Turn your fears into focus, and that's actually a key part of my Winning Through Redundancy and Lay-Offs course, coincidentally. And that course, by the way, is the other thing as a result of feedback. What started off with just one type of option, which was a group coaching option on a weekly basis, has now got multitude of options: course only, group coaching, or course plus one-to-one coaching with myself. And from the point of view of employers buying that course for their departing employees, again, there are multiple options. So it's a fabulous alternative, affordable option for employers to support their departing staff as a result of redundancy. And what I decided to do, the final thing I want to focus on, is the missing ingredient, if you like. I've got my Winning Through group on LinkedIn, but that's generic. It's to help people focus on winning through career and life in general. But I thought I need a specific group to focus on winning through redundancy and layoffs, and not just a UK group, global group again, and that can be alumni from people who've been through the course, but more so to get together like-minded people who are struggling as a result of the redundancy or layoff situation that they've either facing or have been through. Again, providing encouragement, inspiration, practical hope, moral support, caring, sharing, support network community. And not just people who've been laid off, but people who've been through redundancy situations over a number of years ago necessarily. It's like myself, but other people, previous clients of mine, who are willing to get involved in the group to share knowledge and experience and again, practical hope for others. So looking back for me on 2020, well, yes, like with most people, it's been some very dark times, lots of challenges, and also finding ways to constantly motivate myself and be self-disciplined to focus on these key priorities that I decided on. And in respect to that, yoga and meditation became a key part of my life in 2020. And again, that's something I will be bringing forward with me in 2021. And I've always had a love of nature, but those daily walks, which got longer and longer, I've found many, many new parks and nature reserves and so on, which I never even knew existed, which literally are on the doorstep. So, yeah, it's been a challenge. It's been tough. And I appreciate maybe I'm much more fortunate than many people. But I think it's really important that you do reflect on 2020 and look at the things that you really have achieved, which maybe you wouldn't have done in normal circumstances, and give yourself a proverbial pat on the back and think, right, if I can do that in probably the most challenging year known to mankind, then 2021, I'm sure, is going to be the start of a bright new future. And I look forward to seeing you all there and winning through your different challenges. So thank you for watching and listening. And I hope that in some way that my journey in 2021, my legacies, have helped to motivate and inspire you to achieving really great things in 2021.